You may or may not already be aware of this, but the IRS has faced some challenges the past couple of years with processing returns, getting refunds out timely, all while they're also trying to modernize and get their computer systems into the 21st century. And one of the glitches that happened this year was a notice going out erroneously to about 1.5 million taxpayers, and if you receive this particular notice, you may be able to ignore it and throw it in the shredder and not even call your accountant about this one. Stick with me and I'll tell you exactly what that notice is and exactly what to do with it to determine whether it's legitimate or whether you can just throw it away and go on about your day. Thank you for joining me on the small business journey. I'm Terry Johnson, a virtual CPA, and I'm going to use this channel to discuss the complicated and often mundane in simplified terms and in very not mundane places so you can better understand your taxes, your small business, and how to save money along the way. The notice that became the problem in 2026 was notice number CP53E. You can determine whether or not your notice is this particular one and you can ignore it by looking in the upper right hand corner. The IRS gives a notice number. It'll say notice and then have a code next to it. That tells you and the IRS what the notice is regarding and who you need to talk to about it and where to send any money or which office to have hopefully address this for you in the most timely manner. This notice was created by the IRS prior to tax season even starting because the IRS is doing away with paper checks going into the future. This is to save money and to also modernize their systems and get away from so much paper pushing and make everything more electronic and faster for everyone. So if you have been used to sending checks to the IRS in the past, you will need to set up an IRS online account. I will leave a link to that down below in the description so you can easily get to that IRS website and set one up. I would encourage everyone to do that. You can track payments, you can verify notices, you can request copies of transcripts or prior year tax returns via that without having to talk to a human, which can be frustrating at best. So set one of those up so you have it and can keep track of your tax situation better and resolve this notice at the same time. So the IRS was trying to get banking information from people that had requested that their refunds be sent via check. And this notice simply says, hey, we don't have any bank account information for you. You have 30 days to give that to us. If you don't, we will send a check. Checks will be very slow to go out this year. Next year, they're going to push back even harder and just keep requesting bank account information. So just get ahead of the game a year in advance if you got this. Give them your bank account information if necessary, and then you won't have to worry about this next year. The problem was that for some reason, taxpayers received these that were not expecting a refund. So it created a lot of confusion, both with taxpayers and tax preparers on why clients were receiving this. One of the issues that could have triggered this erroneously is that penalties and interest were calculated differently at the beginning of the tax season than they were later on. So software companies were calculating penalties and interest based on the best information they had before the beginning of the year, which is when they have to create all the software and get it out to tax prep offices. So tax preparers were trying to do the right thing and be very proactive for their clients and calculate any penalties and interest you may have owed the IRS because of not paying in enough from the prior year or not paying estimated taxes. But then when the IRS got it and they had changed how they were calculating this, the IRS may have come up with a different number than your tax preparer and their software did. So you paid in what your tax preparer told you to do, which was the best answer they had on your behalf, and then the IRS recalculated and they may be trying to send you a refund for over-calculated penalties and interest. That is one reason why these could have been sent out. Other people just completely got them erroneously because of a glitch in the system, and you can ignore those. So keep things simple. Go online, create an online account at irs.gov, and see if there's a notice in there. The system will tell you if you are getting a refund or if you owe the IRS money. If there's a zero balance due, throw away the notice, forget about it, and go about your day. If you do owe money or getting a refund, then either make the payment online for the IRS so you can track it, or put in your bank account information so they can get that to you very quickly and you're not waiting on a paper check, which they will take a couple extra months to process. The other thing that tax preparers and the IRS are warning people about are the QR codes on these notices. The IRS was trying to be very 21st century and make things easier on everyone and give you a QR code that took you directly where you needed to go to resolve this. The problem is scammers will scam, and they are very good about taking these IRS notices and creating scam notices that look very much like the ones sent by the IRS, but it will have incorrect website links on it. It will have incorrect addresses and phone numbers. So the IRS and tax preparers are saying ignore the QR code that is on these notices. If it's legit, it will take you to the right place. If it's not, it will take you to a scam website, and you don't want to fall into that. So that's just something to keep in mind as you go forward. If you are listening to this and have enjoyed it, has been helpful, please like and subscribe and follow my next video.